This is the video feedback for Mia Secker for part 1 of the animation and simulation module. Okay, Maya, we're going to have a look at the zombie rig work that you did first. So I've got these opened up already here in VLC. Very good of you to submit this from several viewpoints, or at least concentrate on several aspects of the character. It makes it much easier to mark for me, and I think much better for you. I'm not too concerned about all that glitchiness going on there, because I know that was an error, I think, in the animation, so don't worry about that. I'm not going to be judging you on that. But what I can see so far here, it looks very good. It looks very good quality, smooth rigging and skinning. I don't see any great issues with creasing as of yet, or got creasing where it shouldn't be anyway. I mean, that I think is very good. I mean, although that's an extremely excessive sort of a move, I think you've done very well with that. Okay, so let's keep running this through. We'll have to judge that on on another view or something. A little bit of thinning down of the hand there, but I'm guessing we'll see more of that as we get to it. So let's have a look at these feet then. Yeah, no great issues with those. No problems. Know what's going on with that the animation there. Okay, all those fingers look like they're pretty well all rigged. Don't see any great issues. Move on to the individual bends. This might have been useful to see this sort of slightly from beneath, or looking across the fingers, because you don't really get to see the bends fully. But from what I can see, it looks very, very good. So look at the legs. Again, those bends, it'd have been useful to see those from the side. Because whilst they look good at this point, from this angle, it would be good to see them from the side, so I can see how effectively you've done the bends of the knees. That is. Yeah, this is all fine. Torso, I'm really happy with. I'm just going to check out that shoulder again. Yeah, that's excellent. Yeah, the only thing, a little bit of critique I would give is perhaps when the shoulder moves upwards, probably should be a little bit of a smoother sort of transition to the top here, so it making it look like the clavicle bone is actually lifted up here as well. It's just a little bit too angular, that. Minor critique though, because you got the armpits working beautifully well. That twist does seem to work well. I think the elbow is not too bad either. Let's see the neck. A little bit of loss of volume of the neck, and a tiny little bit of penetration of the shirt there. Those things relatively easily fixed, I think. I mean, if you'd just painted in some weight for the shirt, for this bone here around the neck sort of area, I think it would have just kind of pulled the shirt with the mesh of the neck as well. With all that stuff. Shoulder looks great, actually. Happy with the hands. Yep, that looks good. Very, very good. Yeah, I think you've done a very, very good job with this zombie setup here. But let's have a look at the animations you put together. Okay. Very good. I think it probably would be good to see these in slow-mo, which I can do, I suppose, if I need to. Yeah, it's reasonable, but there's a little bit of intersection, I think, of the forearm in towards the kind of the upper arm. I've noticed in some of these shots. Definitely see it there. You just want to add some weight for the forearm bone around the little turned up piece of the shirt there. No, but it stands up very well to that. I think, to be honest, I think that's excellent. I think you've done a great job of that. Happy with that. Right, let's move on to the soft body dino. I think I'll do the same sort of thing here. We'll get that in VLC as well. Let's just run that back. Excellent, really like that, it's brilliant. We'll see them all through and then we'll go through in a bit more detail. Okay. Yeah, great. I think this the next setup you've got there, I think is really, really good. Mainly because we do see quite a lot of wobble throughout the actual movement. We don't just see it when the animation stops, which I think is natural. You know, it's like there's that little bit of follow through and overlap thing going on. Yeah, I like the fact it goes all the way up to the chin, right the way down here. There's a gradual sort of fall off up there as well. The tail, I think it's very good, but I would have expected a little bit more flex around this area, and it should gradually fall off to be less and less flexed when we get towards the end of the tail, maybe to about there. There'll be probably none beyond there, really, not too much, because that's the loosest bit of skin, this kind of loose muscle and bits and pieces in there. So I think I would have expected more here than perhaps here. But it's a very good setup. You've got a good setup there for the flex, that's for sure. Okay, let's just quit that. We'll go to the cat bones, I think. Let's see what you come up with. Okay, they all seem to function nicely. Let's just check out the screen capture, see how you set it all up. And now with the screen capture, what I would have liked to have seen is you capturing the screen whilst you actually work through this. So you move these live on screen, not an animation sequence, because I want to see what each individual one does. That would have been useful for me to be able to see that. At the moment, I'm seeing them all working sort of collectively, so I don't get a feeling for what each individual one does. So it's a shame that we've not got that in there, but from what I can see here, they all seem to function quite nicely. I don't see any great issues with it. There's no creasing and crumpling of the mesh. The control system does work. So thumbs up there, like that. Let's have a look, morph targets. We'll go for the animation first. Yeah, that all looks pretty well considered stuff. I think maybe that one is difficult to see from this view, but it just looks like there's a bit of spikiness going on there on the mesh. So that's one thing to perhaps have a revisit of. Let's just pop across to your screen capture. See what this does. So again, because we've got several of these running at the same time, it's difficult to know what each one does. But I do know in your blog you kept, we do have a good bit of coverage on the ape character, and certainly I've seen that you've done a screenshot, I think, of all your separate morph targets, so I'll be able to get more from that as well. Is why it's good to have a good blog. Picks up the pieces. Yep, again, all functions well. One thing that does strike me about this is the fact that these are actually pretty accurate. They're the kind of ape sort of facial expressions I would expect. Okay, very good. Nice work. And that leaves us just, I think, your research. Okay, so what strikes me about this immediately, and I will say this is not the first time I'm looking at it, I've had a proper look before I'm giving the feedback, of course, is that you've actually put a lot of work into this. And I think that does bear up in the final product. Very definitely within the zombie character, there's very clear reference for movement, and I do like the fact that you've done some primary research and some secondary stuff. So looking about flexibility, looking at what's possible, because I did intentionally animate that character to be way too flexible, I think, for a zombie. So it's good that you're looking beyond what you'd expect from a zombie. I'm pleased that you've kind of engaged with the things that we did in class. I don't think you missed a single class. I think I'd be right to say that. I don't believe you did. So well done on that. And I think it's paid off. Just have a look at the dinosaur stuff. I'm pleased that you didn't just jump straight in and say, what about dinosaurs then? Let's see how dinosaurs have been done before. The fact that you did look, generally speaking, a kind of loose skin and a kind of jiggly skin and things like that, I think that has paid off, because it's meant that you've actually got some good reference. You're not going to get very good first-hand dinosaur reference, of course, so you need to look beyond that, and I think you've done that very successfully. Worked really hard on that, and it's good again that you've catalogued what you have done in here, because it means you can always come back to it and have another look and see what you did for your own good. Good visual reference for humans and for apes, because this is an ape man, so I'm pleased that you did that. It looks to me like you did use these particularly for your morph target type rigging, and it's really paid off. And I'm pleased that at the end of this I know that we get your separate morph targets, which we will have a look at in a little bit more detail if I can click on them. Okay, I'll just zoom them a little bit further. So these do, again, they bear up your research. They've clearly been informed by that, and it's pleasing that we have got a pretty good high resolution model there, because they should be. With morph targets it's much easier to get that, of course. So let's finish off by saying I think that this overall has been excellent. Actually, I think you've done some wonderful stuff here in your project. Yes, a few bits of ironing out of things. Yes, a few tiny little issues here and there, and perhaps you could have submitted slightly better for these specifically for your screen captures, because the idea was that you show us each individual slider sort of live on screen. But that said, what comes through all of that stuff, the bits that are missing and what have you, is actually that you've really engaged with this. And I've no doubt that should you need to do this yourself for your own project, that you've now got the skill set. I'm pretty happy with that. So well done, Maya. Good work.